very long run. And you have survived rather, and survived really well. And prospering in a time when the writing instrument has got a new meaning due to computers, iPad and iPhones and all that. How does it feel to be a 103-year-old company?
Thank God I'm 45 only. But it feels great. And for me it's a big responsibility because I represent the third generation in my family. My children eventually will be the fourth generation in the history of Montegrappa. So it's a big responsibility because my ancestors, they did a great job. They created something which is unique. As you said, the role of pens has changed over the years. So when my ancestors started the business, it was a communication tool, so it would be the equivalent of a mobile phone today. So people needed to communicate, and the only way they could do it, people were far, was through writing. And in fact, this is one of the reasons why our brand has that continuity over the history, even through both world wars. Because many of the Italian companies, industrial companies, they were converted into weapon company. Right. But at that time, the soldiers, they needed to write home, and so they allowed us to continue our business only through those hard times. So in the 90s, the pen has become more of a status symbol. Today, what we're seeing, it is still preserving the role of a status symbol, but has become also a fashion accessory. So it's gone through different periods and with different roles. But of course, at the base of these, there is still the act of writing, which is very important. And particularly to Montegrappa, even though in this digital age there is more and more use of computers and electronic devices, we are seeing that it is true that people are writing less, but since they use the pens for moments which are very important in their life, they want to be using a good pen.
But what is our best-selling pens in history?
For Montegrappa.
Was it the Pele pen?
The Pele pen has been a very good success, but I would say, well, it is difficult to define a bestseller, especially with limited edition. Because the limited edition, at the end of the day, they all sell out. So it's just a matter of time. So probably I would say the fastest selling
right,
was probably our 1995 Dragon, because this was a very unique pen, and it sold out in a matter of weeks. And at that time we had 100 pieces in gold and 1,912 pieces in silver. So, but the demand was huge, was really overwhelming.
In your centenary year, you launched the Nero Uno watches, right?
Yes.
Tell us something about the watches.
Yes, the watches. Well, first of all, not just about the watches, but in general about all the accessories that we have, which are
cufflinks and all
cufflinks or the leather goods. They come from the idea of creating a Montegrappa lifestyle. So that people who use and appreciate our pens, they can find the same kind of design cues, inspiration and materials also in other matching accessories, and they can actually match their pen to the watch that they wear.
This year you have plans to introduce this Q1 and the complex grappa pen and all that. What is it about?
Yes. Well, the Q1 is also another interesting project that took us 3 years to develop. So this is also an international patent that we have created. So it's the first traditional fountain pen that can actually write with multiple colors.
Multiple colors?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you have seen in the past ballpoint pens.
Yes, 3 or 4 of them, yeah.
But we have taken this to a different level. We have applied it to a luxury fountain pen. Okay. So it's a fountain pen that has a chamber inside that can actually bring 4 different cartridges. It's a special type of cartridge, also with a higher capacity of ink. And then, it is like the chamber of a gun, because you can turn it and you can place the cartridge that you want. It's a very complex technological development, because typically, a fountain pen the cartridge or the ink reservoir is in line with the nib. So this one, the cartridges are all around, so the flow of the ink is not direct. And in order to make sure that the flow is consistent and is right, it took us a lot of experimenting. So that's why it's a project took us about 3 years to make. We're very proud of this achievement, and we made it also very, very exclusive. In fact, the Q1 will be manufactured as a limited edition of only 100 pieces. Of course, it has a very high price point, but just at Basel World, that is the watch and jewelry fair
Right,
that
right.
we attended last month, we pre-sold already 80% of the production.
Oh, is it?
And so, of course, in the next few weeks, we're sure that we'll be sold out, and before the pen is even released into the
Released.
market.